And without any further ado, I'm really excited to introduce our speaker tonight. And she's been back on a roll every single week, focusing on bookings and getting that momentum going again. And so tonight we have Miss Heidi Fitzgerald. She's going to teach us all about booking.
Yay! Thank you guys. Um, my week was awesome. I had so much fun with it, and it was so much fun to get like back into booking. Like when I was working my Alaska job, I just didn't make time to make bookings. I just let life get in the way, and I didn't see a face for like 6 weeks or 8 weeks, I think. And so it was really fun to just get back into it and just remember exactly why we did this. So I always say this every time, but whenever Denise has something for me to train on, it's always something that I need. And was exactly what I needed to get back in touch with what I personally do for booking.
Can I,
Um,
can I interrupt really quick and give you some kudos, Heidi?
yeah.
This is so fun. We were talking, I think, sometime over the weekend, kind of arranging, getting everything moved over from the office. And you guys, Heidi had two people in a row at parties tip her. I never had that. I've never had anyone tip me. She thought they were just buying product, then they bought product too, but they tipped her because they enjoyed the education and the time and were so complimentary about her studio and how it's set up and everything. And a lot of times we as directors, we don't really talk about ourselves or what we're doing, but I just feel like April and Heidi are just so leading the charge, and Kelly too, leading the charge, and Jen, I mean, all of you leading the charge with, really what we talk about. They're actually doing it. But I mean, I just was so blown away that people were tipping her because they just wanted to, because they just loved all of the training and the education that she offers. So anyway, I'll stop interrupting. I just had to say
No,
that.
you're fine. You're fine. It was so much fun, you guys. Like one of them tipped $50 and one of them tipped $30. And I literally didn't like, and it was back to back. It's the last two parties that I had back to back. And they were like several weeks in between. And so I'm like, is this a thing now? Am I calling this into my life? I think so. This is pretty awesome. And I tried to refuse it, but they were like insistent. They were like putting it in my pocket, like, no, you're taking this. And I just practiced my receiving and it was beautiful. And it's really great to be reminded of like how special we are, which I'm going to actually get into that in my training. So I'm not going to jump ahead. So it is so important to remember that booking is a lifeline to our business. We've heard all of us have heard it said, and Mary Kay used to say it all the time, if you're out of bookings, you're out of business. Who here has a planner full of all the bookings that you need to reach all of your goals right now? Who's got like the next 2 weeks booked out with what you want? No? Okay, good. Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm the same way because we're going to flip that. Everything can be flipped just like that. It takes just a change of a momentum and energy. And I am so proof of that right now, literally, because I had one book on my bookings last week and today I've got four. So it's like you can make that for this week. So it's so quick to change with just a few really good habits. Do any of you get excited about booking? Maybe kind of, sort of. No way. Yes. Denise is a heck yes. Hey, well, it's normal to not be excited about booking. It's okay. I personally don't know anybody who, besides Denise, who's just like, I can't wait to go out and book. Like, this is so exciting. For me, I feel like it tends to be the part of our business that feels like work. Um, the part that feels like joy and awesomeness is the actual facial and the sales. Are you with me here? Okay, so the part where we help a woman find inner confidence she didn't know she had or that she felt she had lost. Because let's face it, when a woman walks into a department store to look for skincare and makeup, it is a tedious process that leaves many feeling super overwhelmed and unsure of their purchase. And we get to fix that for them. That's the part of my job that I love. We get to help them find customized options for them, and they get to leave us feeling confident in their decision to buy with us, rather than worrying or having buyer's remorse. How many of us have gone into Ulta or Sephora pre-Mary Kay or even post-Mary Kay and bought a bunch of stuff and felt buyer's remorse? You've got a junk drawer sitting in your bathroom with stuff that you can't return, and we don't have that. And I was really reminded of that with this very last facial that I had. One of the girls is like a Ulta, like that is like her go-to place. She's there every week, and she's like talking to me about how many hundreds of dollars she spent on product that didn't work for her. And so it was a really good reminder of just how important our business actually is. I think it's really important to remember that. Um, But we don't get to the fun part without our bookings, right? We have to have those bookings on our planner in order to have the fun part of our business. Mary Kay Ash would say, show me your date book and I'll tell you what's in your bank account. Something similar to that. I don't know if it's verbatim, but so I'm going to say it one more time and really, really hear me. Booking is the lifeline of your business. I like to think of it as like the umbilical cord to the baby. We have to master booking to get anywhere. And yes, we can have the random here in their booking that happens without intention. And those tend to be rare though. We must put our intentional energy towards our bookings or we will not be productive enough to meet our goals. Now, this doesn't matter if your goal is one face a week or 100 by June 30th. Either way, you have to put in that intentional energy. So, and who can get excited about 100 faces by June 30th to have a spa day with your director? Like, I'm so stoked for that, you guys. This is so doable. It's so more than doable. We could have 100 faces done by the end of May if we wanted to. However, we tend to get stuck in the 6 inches between our ears for way too long, and we need to get out of our own way. It tends to be easy to let the narratives that we've been told or the narratives we tell ourselves to talk us out of doing what we know we need to do. And this is for anything in your life. Like I have said this so many times the last couple of weeks. They're like, I know what I need to do. I just don't do it. Well, why don't we do it? Nobody's going to die from asking for a booking, right? This is not a life or death business. This is a simple business with a simple plan. And when we follow the plan, we're blessed with its gifts. And I'm reminded of this also in every single thing in our life. If somebody gives you a plan to lose weight or to eat a specific diet, or let's say you found out that you have celiac and you're told how to avoid gluten, you're going to do the plan. You're going to do what the person that you trusted to tell you what to do. You're going to do that plan. And when you do it, you're going to have results. It is the same way with our business. We have a beautiful business plan laid out before us, and it starts with booking. And so if you just follow the plan, get over the hump of whatever is stopping you from getting your bookings done, you're going to see success because really it's just seeing those faces. This business is absolutely different than anything else out there. And we are reminded of that constantly. Another business company, a beauty company just went under. I think 2 more just went under. And we are so steadfast and strong in what we have. And it's because we are different. We are not lumped into this, you know, these other affiliate marketing programs. We're not that. What we have to offer is so special and unique. We're a fun, upbeat, happy, empowering business that brings so much joy to everyone you get in front of. Booking is an opportunity to share the amazing energy that you specifically bring to the table. Now, we each have such different qualities that make us unique, and each one of us works from a different strength, and that is the beauty in it. It takes all kinds to reach all kinds. So we need you to get out of your own way and realize that our individual magic is what makes an appointment with you super special. Each one of us have a different way of doing things, but we follow the same plan, right? But we have a different way of making it authentic to us. And that's what people are buying into. So are you in tune with your strengths? Do you know what they are? This is a tough one to just kind of know. I haven't taken the Strength Finders test yet. I'm going to, I promise. I still need to do it. It's been on my to-do list for over a year. But what I did do was I've asked the people who are closest to me, my mentors, my friends, what they think my strengths are. And I listened to the feedback of my clients. What are they thanking me for? What did they take away from their time with me? And so get in tune with yours. We don't have to be good at everything, you guys. That is a horizon goal that we will never reach. It just keeps moving farther and farther away. But we can be really good at a handful of things and then work from there. So find out what your strengths are and get out of your way. Let yourself go be magical. So magical is my word of the year. And honestly, it might just be my word for my whole life because who doesn't want to have more magic in it? Okay, back to booking. So first of all, booking is not begging. It's a blessing. You're offering someone self-care, confidence, connection, and a really fun experience. An opportunity for them to be blessed by those strengths that you have discovered. How many of you can go back to your very first pampering session that you ever had? What did that feel like? How good was it? We forget how great it feels. And even when I do a hydra session with Jasmine or by myself or with Heather, like I'm constantly reminded of like, oh my gosh, this, because we get into our own routines, but when you shake it up and do something different, it's like, whoa, this feels really good. And our clients and customers who are in front of us do not know what that feels like at all. So for them, it is like completely eye-opening. One of the girls that was at my party this last week, she was a consultant 11 years ago. And she was like, I really don't really care for the products. They're kind of gimmicky. Like, she's like, no offense. I love the way you have, this is the one that tipped me. This, you have this beautiful office and you have all this great stuff, but I didn't really like the products. And so I'm like, well, just give us a second. Let us just try it. Let's figure out and let's see if we can find something that you love. And she absolutely loved everything that we put on her face. And it's because she had gone so long without having healthy skin that she forgot what healthy skin feels like. She's like, I feel like my pores are open and they can actually breathe. And I'm like, yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be. All right. So repeat this to yourself if you're feeling a lack of confidence in what you have to offer. I have something amazing to offer. It's not about me. It's about the gift I'm giving to someone else. I have something amazing to offer. It's not about me. It's about the gift I'm giving to someone else. It's so easy to get caught up in the sales part of it. Don't let that block you, you guys. When you book from a place of desperation or needing sales or even prejudging what someone can afford, you're going to choke it out. That's not our job. So make sure you're always coming from a place of serving someone that needs what you have to offer them. You have a service and we are solution oriented. We are trying to help somebody who needs our help. The products will sell themselves and you will never have to be quote unquote salesy. Now I'm going to share with you 8 of my personal booking tips that have helped me personally tremendously. These are things that like I did back in DIQ. I kind of didn't do them very much when I was a director, and now I'm kind of getting back into them again. And they're just things that have helped me. They're not cookie cutter things. They're not things that you guys might have already heard. Some of them are kind of repeats, but that's okay. So number 1 is realize that there's no perfect time to start booking. So just do it because action breeds confidence, right? The more we do something, the more confident we get in doing it. I personally have found that making booking attempts the very first thing on my 6 most important things list every single day makes it so that I'm spending some amount of time on my booking every day. It doesn't have to be a huge endeavor. You know, we don't have to put too much time into it, really. Today, I reached out to 5 people while I was waiting for my grocery pickup at the Fred Meyer parking lot. I booked 2 of them. 2 of them are going to look at their schedule and get back to me. And one I just never heard back from yet. Doesn't mean she won't. I like to do this as the mood strikes because it feels more natural to me personally. If I think of someone, I'll reach out right then. And if I'm not able to, I will at minimum write their name down to remind me later. I really feel that's really an important key part is that when someone just comes to your mind, just reach out to them because for whatever reason, they're needing to hear from you. Lost my spot. Just do some form of booking every single day and see what happens. When my kids were in sports, I'd book during practice. When they were at practice, I was in the gym all the time with Jasmine. And that's when I would do some booking then too. Last time I was in DIQ. Laying in bed in the morning. I love me a slow morning, but I've learned how to make it productive time too. So while I'm listening to my body when I need the extra rest, we do not have to look cute to reach out and by text somebody and to book somebody. We can be completely hot mess in bed if we need to be. I book while watching TV or cooking dinner. I literally will send a message anytime I think of somebody. Number 2, make sure you already know when you have available. This is like crucial and key. Have the dates and times in your calendar that you want to book an appointment, not just like so many times we put what we have in our calendar and then we're like, oh, I don't have any free spots. But really, you do have free spots. And you're going to find these when you do your weekly accomplishment sheet. But just leave it blank, but highlight it. Just put a highlight mark on the day that you want. And if there's a specific time, I would take a pen. I would just put like 2p and then highlight it. And then 4p and highlight it. I still use Calendly to book because it's free and it helps me keep my calendar in check, but I still put it in my day planner because it helps me to see it getting filled up. My goal is to have 5 appointments that hold every single week to help me build my unit through DIQ. So what is your goal? How many appointments do you want to have every week or every month? How many people do you want to see? If you want to see 100 faces by the end of June, that's going to look like about, is it 7 a week? Well, it was 7 a week. If you haven't seen any faces, it might be more like 10 a week now, which is like 2 parties or 1 Facebook party, or however you're going to work your business. It is still so doable, but you have to be consistent. If you don't know when you want to book your appointment, you're not going to find someone to put there. It's literally so fun to just pencil it in and see it and like be like, ooh, I got that one booked. It's a game to me. Maybe that's because I'm an Enneagram 3. I don't know. Okay, number 3. Do you know what your hostess plan is? Now, I change mine frequently, like all the time. And the reason why is that it has to be something that you can get excited about. Most recently, I've been reaching out to my current customers that I have not facialed in at least a year, and then asking them if they would like to help me reach my goal of 100 faces by June 30th. So that is 2 of my appointments this week are previous customers who they've got like 4 or 5 girlfriends coming with them to just share me with them, because I'm like, the best compliment you can give me is to share me with your friends. And so that's what I'm doing right now. I always have a hostess plan besides that, but what I'm doing is I'm saying if they blank, I will give them their usual order for 50% off for free. And this is just depending on whatever it is. It's what I feel like they need. I literally cater it to the person. Because I know it'll get them excited. You know, your customers you already have, you know what's going to get them excited. So if they get 4 girls together and they get their CC cream and their powder for free, they're going to be super stoked about that. And then it's up to me to get sales from that, which we know that we can do because the product sells itself. All right. So then I also have my go-to hostess plan for new people, which is it's pretty much always been the same. It's either 100 or 200 and free to party with me. And I really cater that based on who the person is coming. So, if the person is like my ideal target audience, then I'll do the 200. If they're maybe not my target audience, or maybe they're just like, I don't know, you can kind of know who's gonna, you can't really kind of know because you're not supposed to prejudge. I intuitively listen to that though. So I will do 200 if it's somebody that I'm going to get on repair, and I'll do 100 if it's somebody I'm going to get on miracle set. That's like the bottom line in my head. And the way that looks is that it's $20 for getting 4 people to join them for their party, $20 for 2 new bookings from that party, $20 for everyone filling out the Ponder Pink form after I share. I used to do just 2 sharing appointments, but now I really like to share while the mask is drying. That's like my favorite. It gives us something to talk about. It's quick. I can just hit the highlights and then have them fill out that form for me. And that's been super helpful. So I do that one instead. And then $20 for having 300 in sales or more, and $20 for not rescheduling the original party date and time. And that hostess plan kind of helps me to work full circle. So I'm focusing on my sales, I'm focusing on bookings, I'm sharing, and I'm getting sales. And so it all works out great. The important thing about this is to find something that you like and then learn it inside and out so that you can rattle it off without having to think about it. If you have to like pull out your hostess plan every time and think about it, you're not going to share it. So just know it so you can be like, hey, if you book with me, this is what I'm going to offer for you. All right, number 4, make sure that you're getting referrals from your faces. So you did the work once to get those people in front of you. So have them help you continue to book. This is my favorite way to do this. And so I will have them have their referral sheet in front of them and tell them to get out their phone. And I usually do this towards the end of the facial because then the majority of their experience is complete. They know if they had a good time or not. And I do it while we're letting the moisturizer absorb because that's really important, right? To not like layer stuff on. I want to let it sit. And I never have them feel the back of their face while their moisturizer is still wet because they're like, well, it feels kind of sticky, or I don't know. It's not ever just, oh, it's perfect. So if you wait till their face is dry, you will get like 10,000 times more excited people about the way their face feels in the back of their hand. So I will transition into it by saying, I'm so happy and grateful that you all chose to be here today, and I'm having so much fun. It's seriously been such a pleasure to meet each of you. One of the biggest compliments that you can give me as your skincare guru is to share me with your friends and your family. So while we let your moisturizer absorb properly, I would love to have each one of you pull out your phones and write down anybody in your life who you think would love to get pampered the way you did today. Whoever gets the most is going to get a special prize for me. And it's usually something small or something I have a ton of. Like I have a plethora of pink clay masks. I think we got them free with skincare sets at one point. So I just got a whole bunch of them. And so I've been gifting those a lot lately because I want to move them off my shelf and get my turnover. So think something you have a bunch of. It could even be like the earrings that Kelly brought last week, how she got those in bulk. You could do like it could be, does not have to be Mary Kay product. It can be something super simple and cheap. And so I'll be reaching out to them and let them know that you're gifting them a complimentary session with me. And then also take a picture with your guests. That is so important. And do it at the very end of the appointment when they have their glowing skin or they have their dash out the door look complete. So they look really, really good, really glowy. And then you're going to use that picture to text to them. So referrals are the best for continual booking. If you're getting referrals at every single appointment, you will never have to find leads again. Now, this is important though. It is crucial that you follow up with the leads. So, sorry, my throat is so dry. You want to follow up with them the same night or within the next day. You don't want to let them get cold. The fact that your guest had such a great time with you and just finished their facial makes them a warm lead. So the difference between a cold lead and a warm lead is just how much, like, do they have any experience with Mary Kay? Have they been in touch with you? Have they been talking to you? You know, all those things. The fact that their friend was there, they're going to be able to tell them what a great time they had because their friend's going to ask, hey, thanks for gifting this to me. You know, did you have a good time? They're going to tell them how amazing you were. So knowing your strengths is important. You're going to lead and love from your strengths. And then they're going to be like, yeah, Allie is great to work with. You know, she's so positive and upbeat and she knows exactly what to tell me to do for my skin. And I loved having an appointment with her. And then they're going to feel more excited about booking with you. Okay, number 5. Have your guest also give you a shout out on their social media. I love this one. I got away from it and I'm getting back to it. I on my booking thing when they book, they get a thank you thing, like a graphic that says, "Hey, follow me on my social media." So before they ever even come and see me, they're already either looked at me or friended me on Facebook or has Instagram, or TikTok even. And just to open up that realm because so much of the follow-up that I do with people is actually on social media and they see a lot of like the sharing posts and the positivity and all those things. So have them give you a shout out on social media. They can snap a selfie of them with their mask on or with glowing skin and tag you in it. And they can post a real-time video talking about how much fun they're having. They can give a call to action to reach out to them if they want your number or if they want to join in next time and they tag you in it so the people who see it can click on it and go to your profile as well. And this is a great way to get your name out in other people's circles, especially our younger generation. This is a great way to get them. Offer a gift for anybody who does it. So maybe I'm giving away a mascara to everybody who gives me a shout out on their Facebook or their Instagram or whatever. Whatever, like I said earlier, whatever you have a lot of, it does not have to be, it can be a little goodie bag with some samples in it. I mean, it does not matter what you're giving them. It's just a little thank you. And then it's also really important to go back to if they share it in their story, then to go back to their story and share it on your own, thanking them and praising them because people want to be praised as success, right? So when our guests, our customers are giving us a proud shout out, we want to praise them for that so they continue to give us more shout outs. If it's not a story and it's a post or a carousel or a video, then just comment on it about how amazing it was to serve them. The key word is serve there and help them find solutions for all their skincare and makeup needs. Once again, you're giving them praise, recognition, and offering your services as a serve, not a sell. Okay, number 6. Learn how to textbook. Nah, everybody, like our leaders, I might get in trouble for this, but I am not a phone call booker. I don't think I have ever booked an appointment by calling somebody, you guys, ever. and asking them to book with me. I know, so I can't attest to it working. I do know that many of our leaders built their businesses that way and it works for them. That's great. I also know that I personally never answer my phone unless I know who is calling and what they want. Even if I know who's calling, unless I know what their intention is, I still sometimes might not answer the phone. And I know that I'm not alone. Maybe it's a millennial thing, I don't know, but so I have mastered text booking. And from the mouth of Ambertown Geehan, this is simply getting your ask out there, right? I love me some text booking. It allows me to do it from anywhere, like I said earlier, anytime. And so I can sprinkle it throughout my day. And you guys, it's a big one. I will never cold text somebody ever. It's yucky. So please don't do it. It sets a bad reputation, a bad name for everybody in Mary Kay if you're cold texting. What you want to do is you want to book with people that you have some sort of interaction with. And I know that I've trained on this before, but I know we have a lot of new people. So I'm just going to kind of touch on it a little bit. But booking with people that you've had interactions with is so crucial. It can be from your referrals that you got from your party. It can be vendor leads or facial boxes. It can be someone you met when you were out and about warm chatting. Someone who recently checked out your story or liked a post or commented on something. Someone you saw is having a birthday, maybe a current client you haven't talked to in a long while. It can be someone who you saw has a daughter getting married on social media, or someone celebrating an anniversary. Those are all wonderful ways to reach out to someone just to start a conversation. It's a way underutilized tool when it's done properly. And the key word here is properly. So I also love to send voice clips. I think that if they're too long, they won't listen to it, or they will wait to listen to it because maybe they're somewhere where they can't listen to something right now. So I try to do it when I know that somebody's not going to be able to respond, but they will later. I don't send them to everybody like I used to. And the reason I do that is because it helps to convey a huge part of communication, which is tone, right? There is so much lost in translation over text. So I think that if you can get a little blip out there, that just shows how excited you are or how thankful you are. Sometimes I'll do it after they've already booked with me, and I'll send them a little message and be like, hey, so here's what to expect. And I always tell them to dress comfortably and bring a hair tie and shoot me any questions if they have any between now and then. And I do that over the voice clip because it's not something that I need a response from right now. It's something that they can respond to me whenever, and it's not going to affect whether we're getting the booking done or not. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay. All right. Number 7. Definitely utilize your social media. It is not there to waste our time doom scrolling on. It is there as a way for people to share important things to them. Whether it's a shared meme, a personal story, a photo of their kids, people only share what is either important to them, something they found funny, or maybe it's a cause they believe in. Usually that is what it is. It's either something from their life, something funny, or a cause they believe in. So use that as an entry into your conversation, and then take that conversation private. You never want to have like a conversation on social media in the comments. It's just annoying. It's disrespectful. It doesn't look good. So you can comment and you can be like, hey, I'm so excited that, I saw, Rebecca, that your daughter's getting married, and I'm so excited for you. Congratulations. And then take it to the DMs. You don't want to do anything. Where was that? Oh, and if you have their phone number, if they're already a customer and you already have their phone number, then just text them. You don't have to go into their DMs for that. You already have a private conversation with them. They're already established with you, or they're already a friend or a family member. Go to text instead of messaging. And use what you saw to connect with them. So, and do this in conversational form. I feel like this is something that can't be taught. It's kind of natural, but part of it can be taught. So I hope somebody takes something away from this, but this is not a copy and paste strategy, you guys. Okay. Like, I cannot reiterate that enough. It doesn't matter how personal you make that copy and paste message, the other person will know every single time. So try to just be the unique person that you are and just have a conversation like you would with your friend. It is a little bit more time consuming, but you'll have way better results. And a prime example of this is what Denise shared with us just a few minutes ago, that she texted out her sale to people and got so many more responses than my blank copy and paste email that I sent to all of her customers for her, right? So it coming from her phone, it came personal. She sent them out one at a time. And yes, it was time consuming, but she's gotten tons of feedback from it. And so that's just a prime example of that.
I just got another big order just now.
Did you? Yay! All right, so it's important to keep it casual and keep it confident and keep it kind. Okay, just get your ask out there with a purpose. So you're going to share a challenge you're doing, share what your goals are. Don't just say the goal, but why the goal is important to you. Again, in conversation form, we're not sending a big, huge paragraph because I promise you, no one will read it. I sent out a big, huge paragraph on my dynamic diamonds unit thread. This was like probably a year ago. And I remember Allie was even like, you know, to be honest, I didn't even really read. I kind of skimmed it. She's like, will you go over it with me? Because it's a prime example. When people see a big, long paragraph, they're either going to immediately close it or scan the highlights, decide if it warrants taking their time right then and there to answer. It's not because of the message. Allie loves me. It's because she didn't have time, right? And so they're going to decide if they have the time or not, and then maybe read it and maybe not, but they won't respond. And the reason why, even if they read it, they might not respond. And it's because responding to the big, long paragraph means they have to match that energy, generally speaking. Most people who are good at communication, if you send a paragraph, they're going to send a paragraph back. If you send a little quick blurb, they're going to send a little quick blurb back. And that's what we want. We want it to get conversational. You know how we have a hook on our videos and our posts? So like we need to have a hook in our conversations at the beginning as well. So this can look like, I'll say like, hey, Judy, I saw that your kiddo is celebrating their 5th birthday already. When did that happen? It seemed like just yesterday you were sharing their birth story, right? Or, oh my gosh, Mary, I can't believe your oldest is getting married. How exciting. She looks so happy. How long have they been together now? Those are questions that are non-intrusive that somebody's going to be fine with answering. And then it kind of opens up that door a little bit for you to have more of a conversation with them. Becky, it's your special day. Happy birthday. I love birthdays. What are you doing to celebrate? Super simple, right? Super sweet. It's inviting, it's warm, it's friendly, it's confident, and it doesn't require much to get them to join in that conversation. And then once you have a back and forth conversation, then you can come in with your ask. And you guys, this is important too, is that back and forth conversation. Sometimes it can be days, hours or days. Like it's not just, oh, happy birthday. Hey, do you want to book a facial with me? That's not the way we do it. We have to be conversational with it, just like they were standing in front of us. And so while it is a back and forth conversation, if they're not getting back to you for 5 or 6 hours, then you're getting back to them 5 or 6 hours. It could be several days long, but what would be like a normal conversation in person if they were in front of you. I like to offer, this was like going back to like what kinds of things I like to offer. So I like to establish it with the person if I know them or like I know what their situation is. I might offer a girls' night out. One of the girls that I booked, she's wants to do a pajama mask party. She's getting her daughters, they're all adult daughters coming over. And she's like, I want to do something kind of fun with them. And I was like, well, let's do a pajama mask party. And she's like, yes, let's do it. That like struck her because I knew her personality and I knew what she would like. So you want to make sure that you like have a few ideas in your head that you can pull from based on what the person that you're talking to, what they would appeal to them. Let's see. And then of course, let it be natural, which, you know, like I said, it can be taught a little bit. Part of it is just learning, is doing it and learning. And then remembering, how would you want someone to approach you? Always. I can't stand those Facebook messages that are like, hey girl, it's like this big long paragraph of how, will you post this for me? Because I have a goal. It's great. They're hitting all the marks, but I have no clue who this person is. And so it feels really impersonal. And our job in Mary Kay is to make people feel special. And that doesn't make me feel special. So just remember that when you are booking them. And then number 8 is track who you've reached out to. Tracking sheets are so important. I will lose names and then they'll come to me like a week later and I'm like, oh, I was going to follow up with her and I didn't. So tracking is like my new best friend and I'm working on getting better at it. We're going to track how many times we've reached out to somebody and in what way. and how many no's you've received. So just because somebody says no doesn't mean that you can never reach out to them again. I have gotten one definitive no in my entire career in Mary Kay that was like, no, please don't ask me again. And it was, besides the emails, like as I did David's Bridal for a little while, and sometimes they'd be like, oh, I'm not interested. Please don't email me again. And that's different because that's not a personal connection. That's just a bulk email. Um, and so like personal connections, I've only had one no, and she was going through a really rough time in her life. And she's like, I just don't know how that I can make this happen. She's like, it's just a no. And I'm like, okay. And even that no still felt like it could be a yes in the future, just not right now. So just remember that we're going to get no's. It's going to happen. We know this. And so keep track of them, because you're going to find out how many no's it is for you before you get a yes. I want you to track it and know it, because while there are statistics and mathematical game that we can play in Mary Kay, I think is different for everybody, the part of booking. Some people have really good success where they book everybody they reach out to, and some people have less, and that's okay. But if you know what your number is, then you can help reach your goal faster by having that many more shares. I skipped ahead of myself. The majority of people who decide to either book, buy, or sell with you comes after many layering attempts. I cannot count the number of people that have joined my team after layering them over and over and over again. In fact, at the beginning of the meeting, I was just texting Jessie, and Jessie is so excited to get started in her business again. And she's like, this time I want to invest in it. And so while she's done it once before, she signed up with me and she didn't do anything with her business. She didn't even place her initial order. Life happened and it just was the way it was. And she fell off probably 6 months ago, I want to say. But I've just been layering her still because I know what she's capable of, and I know how beautiful she would be for Mary Kay and what kind of blessings Mary Kay would be for her. And now she just messaged me back today and she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to get started. And so you never know what's going to happen. So just make sure that you have your tracking form. That's where I was going with this. This is why I try to stay on my notes. And when I get off my notes, I just start rambling. So keep your tracking form in front of you and write everybody's names on it, because you might look back and be like, oh, I haven't talked to Jessie in 3 months. I need to reach out to her and see what's going on with her. And your tracking form is going to be hundreds of names long. I have a little notebook that I keep it in. And I just keep flipping it over. I don't have a fancy tracking page. I just have a spiral notebook. I've tried tracking pages for everything, and as much of an Enneagram 3 and Virgo that I am, I don't do good with that kind of organization. I'm just better with a spiral notebook. So that's what I've got. Okay, so some people are quick to decide and others take their time and need all the information. And so find out what appeals to your client and then show them how the appointment can be beneficial to them. I think this is really, really important, because some people want a facial just because they need some girl time. I have this one client. Well, she's not even really a client. She's just somebody that I know from social media. And I have been trying to get her booked for a facial for 1 year. It's been a little over a year. And finally, I was like, I know that she doesn't have any friends, and she's plus size like me, and her name is Heidi, and she's like really bonded with me in like a lot of different ways because she sees what I post on social media and how I'm not scared to be myself. And she's kind of like, I just wish I had your confidence. And I keep inviting her over for a facial and she doesn't come, she doesn't come, she doesn't come. And finally I was like, you know what, let me send you some samples in the mail and we can do a Zoom facial. And she's like, no, because I really want the like the girlfriend time. She's like, I want to be social. She's like, doing it on Zoom isn't social. She's like, so just keep reaching out to me. And so it's like, you never know what's going on with somebody, and you never know who you're going to touch in your social media either. That's another part of this, is that you never know who is out there watching you, who's like, oh my gosh, this is a message that I need to hear. And this means a lot to me. And like somebody could be completely down in the dumps, and something that you share makes them smile and feel good about themselves. And I just think that that's really beautiful. So we need to utilize that part of it when we're booking. Like those connections, I used to think that it felt so icky to reach out to people on social media, but it's because I was doing it wrong. And when you do it from a place of connection and servitude, it just comes from such a more beautiful place. So Denise had done a training on booking like back in December, 4 or 5 months ago. And so she had us do our 60 faces in 6 minutes. Does anybody have a list that they have started that they have not reached out to? I know I have some. If you didn't do it, go do it. That's going to be your challenge for this week, is to get your 60 faces in 6 minutes. Just sit down, write down everybody you can think of, everybody who comes to mind. Keep that piece of paper in front of you all week long. And whatever your goal is, I'm not going to tell you to have 5 bookings next week, but that's my goal. Whatever your goal is, send it to your director and let her know how many bookings you want to have by next week, and make it happen, you guys, because you guys can do this. Is anybody feeling more confident about booking? Yeah, good. Okay. Are we ready to rock out the rest of our seminar year? You guys, we have 2.5 more months to meet our goals, and I know that we can do it. It's so exciting. I'm so excited for everybody who's going to seminar. It's going to be so much fun. So let me just, I know we're short on time, so let me just recap really quick. So you're going to get your list. You're going to keep it in front of you all the time, and you're going to add new names to it every day. Keep your list going every day. You're going to highlight the times in your planner that you have available, and you're going to be intentional about filling them. And you guys, it is so much fun to see those get penciled in, like literally. If you're an achieve mindset, or you're like a to-do list kind of person, it is so fun to see those empty highlighted spots get filled. You're going to get your name out there on social media through commenting and liking on other people's posts. Just try it. Give it a couple weeks and see what happens. And then get your ask out there, share your goals, and help them see the benefits of booking with you. And then number 5 is do it again and don't stop. So like, our goal to success, the formula to success, is a Power Start Plus every single month. And we have awesome rewards for us the next 3 months for doing that. 30 faces, 30 days with 6 sharing appointments. You guys, that is so simple to do. And like I said earlier, if somebody gave you a plan for losing weight, or for working through a chronic disease, or for whatever it is, you would follow it and you would do it and you would see success. And so it's the same way with your Mary Kay business. We have a plan that works, and it's literally 30 faces in 30 days. There is something so magical about that. I have not done a Power Start Plus every month since I started my job with Mary Kay, my career. But if you look back at the months where I was super successful, and the months where I had like this massive momentum that threw me forward, they were all 30 to 45 face months, every single one of them. And so just keep that in mind, and you guys are going to be perfectly fine and super successful. And I'm super excited to see what we do with the rest of our seminar year.
So great. Does anybody have feedback for Heidi? That was so great. I put a message in the comments for you, Heidi. That may not be cookie cutter, but it was authentic, and it's what you do, and it's what works. And back to the texting, if we had had text back when I started my business, that's what I would have been doing all the time.
Yeah.
Because it was not easy to get on that phone and get the courage up to call people and get no's. If you don't hear back from a text right away, it doesn't feel like a rejection as it is sometimes on the phone. So there's nothing wrong with text booking at all whatsoever. Heidi, do you want to explain what a cold text is, just for the people who are new?
I feel like a cold text is when you just reach out to somebody with a blanket message without having any prior interaction with them. So it would be like, let's take Kelsey, for example. I know Kelsey's in Mary Kay, but I have no idea who she is. I've never met her in person. I've never had a conversation with her. I've never seen any of her social media posts. And so for me to just go send her a copy and paste message to her out of the blue is what a cold text is. That is so not warm and welcoming, right? I like to think of it as like hot and cold water. We would like, if it's not something that we would say to their face, then don't say it to them. Yeah, cold texting, cold calling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it feels the same. And it's like warm texting is like you have a little bit of that relationship built. You've commented on some things. They know who you are. When I message somebody on DMs, it's usually somebody who comments and likes my story a lot, or they see my posts, are always liking my posts, or always commenting on it. And so it's somebody that, like, when they see my name, they know exactly who I am. I think of like even Jamie Taylor, like Jamie Taylor has no reason to know who I am in this world, right? Like, I have not yet gotten successful enough for her to know me, my face to my name. But when we got to meet her at seminar last year, she was like, tell me your name again. And I was like, Heidi Fitzgerald. She's like, oh, I know who you are. And it's like, she instantly knew who I was. And so it's like people see that and they know that. And that's what makes it more warm and inviting when you're messaging those people.
Thank you for elaborating on that. Who else wants to share some feedback with Heidi?
I just want to say, Heidi, that that was like amazing. And I love seeing your energy level right now because I know you were going through some things and you pulled back. And now seeing you here and like back in it and just the energy, like this is where you're supposed to be. And I think you know that. And I'm just super excited that you did a great job. And I just want to say I kind of had a little bit of this recently. I reached out to a gal who I think would be amazing at Mary Kay, and I had talked to her about it before. And I know she's out of a job right now. And we had a little back and forth conversation. And then I brought up, Mary Kay again. And she was like, I just can't do it right now. I am not in a place, which I get, right? She's not in a place. And why would I want to push that on her when she's just not in that place right now? But then after that, I followed up with her with another job opportunity that I think she'd be a good fit for, that just happened to like fall in my lap after chatting with her. And I thought, that's kind of the things we need to do. Is maybe it doesn't work out with the job opportunity or the face or the facial or whatever, but that doesn't mean we can't still serve them in some other way and keep those relationships strong, because down the line it could make a difference. So yeah,
Absolutely.
great job. Oh, and one thing, and I might sound like an idiot here, but what is a Ponder Pink form?
Oh, the Ponder Pink form. So it is a form that we have guests fill out at guest events. That's like what their interest level in Mary Kay is, and it kind of has some different things for them to answer. I have my own that I use for parties. It's really like simple, small, and streamlined. So it's not like a full sheet of paper. I could probably share it. It might be a Google form though, in Google form for Zooms. I have to look at it. I'll find one that I can share with you because they're super.
Okay, I assume it's like the ones that we can get from Mary Kay. Like I have some of those, but then you have something a little, I'd never heard it
It's
called
basically the
Ponder Pink.
same thing. Yeah.
Okay.
The team building sheet on the back where it says A, B, and C, same thing. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a tell
Awesome.
us what you think, and there's a Ponder Pink. There's several different versions of it.
How cute.
Thank you, April. Have you ever pondered pink? This is like the full sheet one. Sometimes we do half sheet ones, but it's basically a follow-up to get kind of a pulse on what people are thinking after they come to, especially a marketing event, like our balloon blasts and things like that.
Oh, got you. Okay. Is that in our Facebook?
I would imagine it's probably on
I
our
believe it
entire
is. I'll take a look and make sure it is, but I'm almost positive it is. And sometimes it can be even. So like if I don't always, I'm so not a Virgo in this way, but sometimes I don't have the forms on hand. I didn't print any out, or I can't find them, or my office is unorganized. I will have them flip over their profile card and I'll just have them put an A, B, or C at the top, and I'll just say it because I know it by now. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
A is you just would rather eat worms than sell Mary Kay, and B is I'd rather be a customer and just support you. And C is, sign me up now. This is a no-brainer. Like I use different words for every time, but that's the gist of it. And then they just put it on there. So like, you don't have to have, like I said, the very first number one of this whole training was you don't have to be perfect, and it's never the perfect time. Like if things aren't right and you don't have it, it's okay. Just wing with it, swing with it.
Okay. Yeah.
And also, I want to tell you, I'm so glad you brought up the thing about your friend and not being the time of still carrying on the conversation, because I think that's a really critical part that I forgot to mention, is that like, even after your ask, if now is not the right time, or they say no, or they even say yes, like, don't stop talking to that person. You're going to continue to have a conversation with them, because that's what we are. We're serving, we're loving, we're kind. We're not just trying to get something from them. We're wanting to build relationships. That's what this business is about. And so I was really glad you pointed that out. Thank you, Jill.
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, I need some more girlfriends.
Yeah.
Heidi, you did amazing, amazing, amazing. Great energy, great ideas, great. It flowed. It was just everything that we need to know to do this, and different spin on the way, Denise and I have done it in the past. And I just thought you did a fabulous job. You're truly a leader and a master booker. And thanks for sharing. And it's so true that when Mary Kay said, if I have one idea and you have one idea, we each have one idea. But when we do these trainings and you share your ideas, we all have those 2 ideas now. And so thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I love you guys all so much. It feels good to be back too. Can I just say that real quick? Like everybody's been telling me like, but it feels so good to be like back in my pink bubble with my pink people and just back to working my business because I've missed it so dearly. I know I said I missed it before, but like now that I've had a couple parties, I'm like, oh yeah, this is what that feels like. So if you have not done a party yet, I know several of you here, maybe a few of you have not actually had a party before. So you're like, I don't even know what that feels like. Once you do it, oh my gosh, it feels so amazing. It's so good. And there's no right or wrong way to do a party. You just wash your face. What would you do in your bathroom? It does not have to be the cookie cutter party. It's the plan is you book, you have a party, you sell, you team build, you share, you keep doing it over and over and over again. It doesn't matter what that looks like as long as you're doing those things. So just get out there and book one. Even if it's like your best friend, do a practice one on your best friend. It's so much fun.
Kelsey was asking about, what is layering in regards to team building prospects?
Yeah. So layering is like inviting them to different things. So one of them would be like you sharing your story, telling them why you got started, and what you're excited about. If you don't have very much like length of time with Mary Kay, then telling them what you're excited about. You can pull from other people's stories. You can get them to team events. Like we have our bingo event next Tuesday night. That's going to be a sharing event. We're going to have a balloon blast in June. That's another sharing event. So when you invite them to all these little things, sending the video that Denise has for the opportunity video, have them watching that. Those are all layering it over and over again. And sometimes when we watch a video or we're at an event, we only pull little glimpses of information from each time. We get inundated with information, right, all the time. And so our brain can only hold on to so much. So when you're layering them over time, they're picking up other new things. I remember I had heard Denise do Mrs. Cab, which is one of our acronyms, like 100 times. And she's like, well, Mrs. Cab, right? And I was like, no, I don't remember what that is. I remembered a couple of them, but even though I've listened to it over and over again, I was still learning new things. And we're always like that. So it's just teaching them little bits of information over time.
They layered me for like 7 years.
True.
That was a great question, Kelsey. Thanks for
So
asking.
true, so true.
Good stuff.
All right. Well, I don't have an inspirational close. I can find one real quick.
I bet you do on your phone.
I have one on my calendar if you want me to read it.
Yeah, let's do that.
So this one was from April 11th. So obviously I haven't changed my calendar for a few days. But it says the idea of giving women an open-ended opportunity has catapulted countless thousands to achieve their dreams. And now women of many cultures are accepting our opportunity in their own countries. Someone once asked me, Mary Kay, do you realize that on any given day, at any given hour, a skincare class is being held somewhere in the world? That's pretty
That's
exciting.
cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'll go to what today is. Oh, okay. I'll read this one too, real quick. Most successful people will tell you, if it were not for the help of other people, I wouldn't be where I am today. I believe that everybody who accomplishes something great had help from someone. Somebody somewhere provided a spark of inspiration, offered a challenge, or held out a hand along the way. I know it's not always possible to help these people in return, but you can do it for others what was done for you. Paying it forward. I love that.
I love that one. That's so perfect.
Thanks, Heidi. You did an amazing job.
Thank
I'm
you,
excited.
guys.
I'm
Have a
excited
good
to do
night.
bingo next week. We're gonna do
Yes.
bingo.
Yes.
BINGO.
And you guys, when you invite your guests to get on, like it's bingo's not fun if it's just us consultants. I mean, it's still fun because we still are always learning, but like invite your guests to get on. They can win Mary Kay product, they can win prizes, they can win. I don't know what that's, I need to talk to Denise and April and see what that's gonna look like because we usually do it in person, but they can win stuff. So get them on and it's a lot of fun. And we'll do product knowledge and we'll do the opportunity, sharing about the opportunity. So it's great opportunity to layer your people.
Do you have a graphic to send out to customers for that?
I do. It is on Voxer and it's on Facebook
Awesome
and
sauce.
it's in the announcements. Okay.
Get your
And I'll send it to our
Good to
group
see you, Allie. I've been
evening.
looking at you through the whole Zoom
Good
going, it's so good to see you. Love
Get
you.
your texts out there and get your ask out there.
Get your ask out there. I love it.
Great job.
I was gonna say too that Allie had a great couple of weeks selling too. She didn't get her accomplishment week. I don't think she had anything this week, but for previous, she didn't get it turned in time. So there's a shout out to Allie for that.
It is
I,
good to see you.
I totally forgot, but I had my other sale so that I don't think I told anybody. So I had an actual real person reach out to me on my website. And she wanted an appointment, a foundation shade matching appointment in Spanish. So I'm like, love that. Have not been practicing. We'll do it. But so she came over not this last Saturday, but the one before. And I asked her, like she used to be a consultant in Puerto Rico a long time ago, and stuff like that. And so I asked her, I said, okay, you went on my website, you saw this, and you thought, I want to go to an appointment and speak Spanish with her. I said, you had to know that this is not my first language. Like, why did you pick me? And she said she was looking at everything. She liked that I had a picture for one. So if you don't have a picture on your website, put a picture on your website. But she also said, she goes, just looking at you and then seeing that you spoke Spanish. Clearly, I know it's not your first language, but that shows me that you're putting in that extra effort to help people like me who don't speak English super well. And we were like a couple English words here and there because my Spanish is very broken. But she was like, it just showed that you really cared and like that you're a real person and you really cared to, to help me. And it was so sweet. And she brought her daughter and her daughter played with my cat while they were doing we were doing the facial. But she she came in for foundation. She bought a miracle set. It was like $150 sale. And then she's like, I get paid again next week. And she did another $150 sale. So, and bought foundation and all that. So I was like, this is just like, I've never gotten a real actual person to message me on my website. And I told her, I said, in the first week that I actually am picking my business up again for the first time in over a year, and you text me in that week. Like that's not a coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences, but that's not a coincidence. So I was like, this is it. I've gotten reorders from people who haven't reordered me in 2 years. I've gotten like some of these other things. So it's time.
I love it. It makes me so happy. Well, congrats. I'm glad to have you back.
Thanks. Also, Angel said hi, but he ran to the shower before he
Tell him hi.
Tell him hi. I hope we get to see him at seminar.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Have a wonderful evening, everybody. See you at bingo.
Bye. Thank
Put
you.
in your accomplishment sheets.